Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel again. Today I'll be speaking about some pros and cons living, dating in South America. And I'll try to make this video short and concise, under 20 minutes, but it really can't fit it all under shorts. But maybe I'll chop it up and put it in there instead. So the first point I'd like to hit on is that there are many Asians, YouTubers, or content out there talking about the life as an Asian American in South America, and overall how the lifestyle is. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it dating positive and negative? And I think this is due to the backlash, the potential backlash one can receive, especially following the 2016, 2017 crackdowns on dating channels. And I think with everything it comes with risk, but this is a risk I'm willing to make because it will help the overall Asian community. And I do want to give back after years of being in this. There's a lot of white and black YouTubers doing this, but compared to Asians, it's a very, very tiny amount. So I'll start off with some cons. I get the bad out of the way. And I'll start with something controversial first, and maybe a little black-pilled. I know some people won't take it the right way, but it is what I see. It is what many other people see, and it's just reality. Is that if you are not white, girls will not land on your lap automatically. Right? Provided that the white guy is good looking or above average looking or even average looking, and he has social skills, even a little bit of social skills. And that's what I noticed going out with my white friends, right? Girls are just a lot easier for them, and they don't really need that much skill compared to someone who is not white. And that's just the reality of the world. I'm not going to try and change that. I'm not going to try and, oh my God, I'm going to cry and stay home and do nothing about it. I'm not disabled. I'm not super short. I'm not extremely ugly. So, provided you have all three of those, then everyone has a chance. And with the rising trends of K-pop, Asian culture, anime, our SMV, sexual market value, is climbing up there. Slowly, it's not all the way up there yet, but it's getting there. You'll see that many girls in South America watch K-pop or watch anime or know some sort of things about the Asian culture. And another good point about this is, as we're being more exposed to the world, the typical stereotype outside of the West is that we are very intelligent, we have money, all the positive that comes along with it. And although for the general population, for the day-to-day activities, networking, dating, that will be good. For criminals, not so much. We'll be seen as a target. And I think this risk could be minimized. And it can be minimized by building yourself up physically, by getting bigger, looking healthy, looking less like a easy target. And yeah, it sounds a little harsh because, oh, you're saying that if I don't improve any of these things, then it's dangerous for me to travel. I think this applies to almost every part of the world, even in America. If you're small, you'll be a pushover easily. You can't defend yourself. So, not only bodybuilding is necessary, weightlifting's not the only thing that's required. You also need to learn how to fight. You need to train in some sort of fighting sport, whether it's boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. That combined with weightlifting will build you up to a point where you feel confident enough to stand up for yourself, and that to know when a bad situation occurs, you can handle yourself, defend yourself, and protect your loved ones, provided that you have a girlfriend down here. Or even if you're going out with friends, if they get into trouble and you're the one standing out watching because you can't defend yourself, that's gonna be a bummer. I wouldn't want to hang out with anyone like that. And I think it applies more in South America because the people here have a more traditional ways of use. Everyone is more catered to their gender roles. And I know in this modern society it may not be too PC to talk about, but it's it is what it is. And it's not something that you can change overnight. It's reality. So I accept it, and I've improved myself to a point where I can walk out alone, go to a club, and I know that everything will be good. And of course, there'll be circumstances where if a guy pulls out a gun or a knife, then yeah, you're pretty much fucked. All right, you have to at that point know how to think and know how to move, and that comes with street smart. If you grew up knowing the common street knowledge, then all that stuff could help in really, really bad, intense situations. But the most we can do is minimize the risk of being targeted and the risk of looking like an easy target. Traveling is not about just improving mentally, you have to improve physically. That's necessary. You need it, no matter who you are. And now, moving on to the positive, my experience in South America so far has been overall positive, really positive when it comes to my mindset. Knowing that people here don't have the typical negative stereotype like we do in Western society is really eye opening and it is really life changing. That people see you more positively and that we don't have the same bad outlook as if we lived in Western society. So maybe it ties back to knowing that if I make a regular conversation with someone, a stranger, then most of the time it'll be positive. I'm not saying that I've had only negative experiences in the United States. I have friends in the United States. I've had good dating experiences in the United States. And that's because I built myself to a point where I can do those things. So basically, whatever you have in America, transfer over to South America, it will multiply. And it comes to dating as well, networking as well. But if you're going to travel without any of those knowledges, and if you're going to travel without any dating experience, then you're going to have a pretty rough time because you won't understand the social aspects of things. You won't understand social dynamics. And so you expect girls to just land on your lap because you're in a third world country with first world money. You're going to be in for a hell of a ride. Because I met many Asian guys down here where they don't get success back in the United States and they come here expecting a whole lot better. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing for life? You should be like slaying, bro. You should be doing very well for yourself when it comes to dating. And you hear the same story, you hear the same style of story, and it gets to a point where it's like, oh, okay. Well, if you're that type of person, then I don't want to be around you. So within the Asian community, I know that self improvement isn't really a big thing, or even for the general population. You don't really hear much of your child friends making a change for themselves or their lives. And that's what puts traveling and people like us different. And it's really positive because you can build a lot of great social connections down here with the same mindset. Most people that I've met down here, expats and foreigners, they have the same mindset as me when it comes to self improvement and becoming the better you. So, yeah, The point I'm trying to make is that traveling is what you make of it. It's what you do. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be able to talk to people and make friends. Those are all very, very necessary skills when it comes to traveling. Every country I've been to, I've had a good time. There's not one country I've traveled to where I've had a bad time. And that's because of me. That's because I've put in the work to make that happen. Now, if I was the teenage self, introverted, shy, and traveled across the entire South America, I wouldn't have such a great time as I did now. And so my goals down here has changed over time when it comes to dating. There's only so many like dating experiences you can experience where it turns to be very repetitive and it's like, oh, this is it. You know, you can just brag and do all that stuff. I mean, for a little while it's fun, but then after you do it for so many attempts, it's like, wow, this I don't get the same satisfaction as I used to. And so my goal here is a little more different. I'm trying to find a long-term relationship, someone to build with, someone to travel with. And since I've already done a lot of the casual dating for most part of my life, I'm ready to move on to the next part. And the next part is definitely a lot more different. You know, there's approach game, and then you have relationship game. Entirely different monster, entirely different skill set. And what I notice about here is that if you don't understand these things, you can get taken advantage of really, really easily by girls who know what they want. They know that by basically doing the feminine stuff, they can get whatever they want out of you. That's why you hear a lot of stories about dudes being used for their money and paying for their entire family's life. And if you don't understand yourself, if you don't have boundaries set, then you can easily be taken advantage of. And that's part of it. That's part of traveling. You go to countries where they're less fortunate than you, and you're seen as a pile of money. Of course, people are going to try their best to get everything out of you. And so, all these can be minimized, not saying that you will get it all out of the way, but these are some of the things you have to think about when you're traveling South America or to any other third world countries. And you really only learn this from experience. Yeah, you can watch YouTube videos about it, you can read about it online, but experiencing it in real life is something entirely different. It's something you won't feel until you actually experience it. And the people down here they know how to get their way. Maybe it's because there's actually guys that don't mind being taken advantage of. It's only a few dollars. I just give them a few dollars here and there, and it'll be good. And they end up asking for more. The entire family starts asking you for things, and that's very common here. That's really, really common. And honestly, if I was in that situation, I'd probably do the same. It's just human nature. But of course, you will still find the good girls, the people with moral values, the people that aren't going to take advantage of your situations. And I think that's just life in general, right? You won't always run into good people. There will be bad things on the way. So yeah, this entire thing is a journey in itself. Being able to put yourself in shoes that you never experienced before. And a part of this journey for me is leaving a legacy so that when I have children of my own, then I can teach them about my life, about how to live a great life. So I'm gonna end the video here, and I hope you guys got something positive out of this. If you guys have any questions or comments or suggestions for future videos, feel free to drop it in the comment box below. Thanks for watching.